Greetings, greetings. That's right. This is the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shape shifter, the code breaker, baby. That's right. Coming at you live in living color with 2,400 watts of power in this hour. That's right. Once again, sitting in the captain's seat for the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. Listen, if you don't know by now, if you don't feel that energy, let me go ahead and tell you. That's right. I am excited about today's truth session. Listen, we missed you last week, but we're back at you once again. That's right. Coming right at you with all the energy we can muster up, all the energy that we can borrow to send right at you so that you can operate in your pristine condition. That's right, at peak optimal performance. Listen, we welcome you today to today's truth session, and we know that you're going to be excited about it as well. We know that you are going to benefit from the truth session. And we want to formally greet you today. Shalom alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Inhotep, Abaragani, Amani Kaka, Amani Dada, Hola, Bonjour, Konnichiwa. Listen, that's right. As I said earlier, if you don't know by now, I am the master teacher. That's right. The quantum shifter, the shape shifter, the code breaker. That's right, sitting in the captain's seat once again for the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. Listen, you also know him as the host with the most. Yeah, he'll come at you from coast to coast with 2,400 watts of power in this hour. Listen, I know some of you have celebrated last night. That's right, the coming in the quote unquote new year. That's another message. But listen, hope that all is well on your end with your family, your friends, and those of you who you celebrated with. And listen, you're ready for a powerful session. We got some information for you that we know you're going to benefit from, that we know that you're going to like and enjoy. Listen already. Come on and hit that share button. Share this information. Bring those in. We want to give them an opportunity to come into the truth session today so that they can benefit from this information as well. Listen, I'm telling you, the noise rang out last night, and all I could think about is all the things that we have accomplished thus far. All the things that we've embarked upon and all the information that went out in 2021. And I'm telling you, if you go back and listen to that information, figuratively, it will blow your mind. I mean, some of the things that were revealed unto us, some of the information that was placed on the timeline was life-changing. And I'm telling you, we're still feasting on that information. We're still feasting on that energy. And listen, oftentimes, once the year converts over to the following year, I always go back and listen to that information because you always get a different perspective. You hear something you've not heard before, and you also see something that you've not seen before. There's always a different sound, and guess what? Sound creates sight. That's right. Oh, wait a minute. I just hit you with something. That's right. We're going to be dealing with seers today. That's right. Seers use quantum optics for navigation. That's the topic today. Seers use quantum optics for navigation. That's right. The one has been dealing with seers. Seers, where are you? So we're just going to pick right up where the one left off. I'm not going to go into that aspect of it as far as seers, but I'm telling you, we're always in tandem with one another. We're always on point. That's right. And listen, the one is going to hit you with that sound bowl, man, bring you into the session, man, that's going to get your particles ready, get you on the right vibration. That's right, the right frequency so that you can be ready to receive. Yes, yes. Come on. I know you feel that vibration. I know you feel that vibrational energy that the one just released. Listen, I'm not going to be at you long today, but I promise you I'm going to be at you strong today. And listen, if you open up your ears, open up your spirit to hear what I'm saying to you, listen, you're going to get a revelation for yourself, and you're going to continue to get those revelatory sounds, revelatory sights, revelatory thoughts. That's right, that revelatory voice that you can speak a word. That's right, in season to yourself at times when you're weary. To those that are close to you, those who are close to you, that may be friends, co-workers, family members who are very dear to your heart. Listen, it's going to be life-changing. And again, we've been talking about seers. So we want to tap into that aspect of being a seer, but not only that, the quantum optic aspect of it. Listen, let me go ahead and check this timeline here to see who we got in the house today. And listen, our very own Prince of Peace and Katie, they're on location today, but listen, as always, they're always with us. That's right, in spirit and in truth, always lending their voices and their energy. Oh, we have our very own Kizzy Inspirations Queen in the house. That's right, head of the Mod Squad. Greetings, Queen Stephanie in the house today. Oh, we got my sister all the way from Mississippi. That's right. Come on in here, Tammy Green. You understand me. All right. Zoe Dean in the house today. Greetings, greetings. Oh, who else we got in the house today? Go throughout this timeline. Roslyn McLean, welcome, welcome. Greetings, greetings. Dominica Jones in the house today. Listen, already our very own, that's right. Monique already sent a donation. Thank you for your donation. And listen, let me just stop right here and thank you once again, those of you who donate, I mean favorably, consistently, with a diligent heart. We thank you. Thank you for your donations throughout 2021. Listen, we don't take any of that for granted, but we send out our love to you, our energy, our thoughts, our words of meditation to you, that you continue to prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospereth, going into this new season. And listen, we want you to continue to do so. That is a currency, a level of energy, listen, that's known to us, that's beneficial to us. And I've used my sowing to start a current on certain things that I wanted to get done, or certain things I was trying to accomplish, or to just even have that flow of energy. That's right, it's a current. Why do you think they named it currency? That's right, it starts a current, a flow. It starts energy. What do you think current is? It's an energy. Oh my goodness. And so listen, we want to thank you. And we want to admonish you also. Listen, to not only give out of the abundance, but also to focus your giving. Man, there's nothing like strategically sending your donations and have a purpose in mind, a thought in mind, so that it can help you see. Just like the creators told Moshe, see that thou make the tabernacle after the pattern that I've shown thee in the mount. I'm talking about a strategic plan for your life, purpose. Let me hit this once again. And again, I'm not going to be before you long, but I got some information for you. Oh, let's see who's in the house once again. And come on, listen, from the heart. Go ahead and put those hearts on the timeline. Come on and do that right now and take an opportunity, a moment to share. Share this feed so others can also be blessed today. Oh, let's see who's in the house. We know, and again, oh, wait a minute, Sister Dorothy O'Bannon. Greetings, Sister O'Bannon. It's always good to see your face in the place. Man, I want to say I love you all. I love you all. Thank you all for taking out your time to be with us today. I know many people right now are celebrating, are still basking in the moment with their family members. May have some people who may be in town with you, or you may be out of town yourself. But we want to take this opportunity to say, man, we thank you. Gratitude. With grateful gratitude, we say thank you for being a part of the truth session today. Listening to us, listening to the sound on sound, listening to the vibration. You all know that the one sent out a vibration, it makes a sound and it creates a sight. Man, it took me to a place where I can just relax in the moment. Listen, not only am I going to bring the information, I am enjoying the atmosphere. I enjoy every atmosphere that we create. Listen, you better believe I enjoy it. I let it love on me. I love on it so that I can continue to flow. And that's what it's all about. Let's talk about this today. My goodness. Seers use quantum optics for navigation. And now the one, as I've been sharing with you, man, listen, let's give him a black hand. Oh my goodness, man, he laid it down talking about where are the seers, man. That's very important. The seers. The Nabi, the prophets. Where are you, seers? Man, that was very powerful. And it prompted me in my spirit to talk about the quantum. You know, I've been dealing with quantum for quite some time now. But the quantum aspect, or the quantum optic aspect of seers. Let's look at this. Andrew Zimmerman, from What is Quantum Optics? Watch what he said. Quantum optics is a field of quantum physics that deals specifically with the interaction of photons with matter. Wait a minute, photons with matter. So we've been talking about matter. We've been talking about energy. E is equal to mc squared. Energy is equal to mass times the speed of light squared. So we understand that interrelationship with energy, matter, and mass. And so now we're talking about quantum optics dealing with photons. Well, let me jump down there real quickly. I'm going to go ahead and get ahead of myself. I feel I should be doing this right now. But let's look at this when it's talking about photons. Now, watch what it says here. Quantum optics is a field of quantum physics that deals specifically with the interaction of photons with matter. The study of individual photons is crucial to the understanding of the behavior of electromagnetic waves as a whole. Watch this. To clarify exactly what this means, watch this. The word quantum refers to the smallest amount of any physical entity that can interact with another entity. But watch this. Quantum physics, therefore, deals with the smallest particles. These are incredibly tiny subatomic particles. We've been talking about that, which behave in unique ways. So we're talking about those very small, minute particles. But what do we say about quantum? It's a small particle, but oh my goodness, it affects everything. So no matter how small the particle is, it affects things on a large scale. We've been talking about quantum entanglement. So affecting something in another location, in another place, no matter how small it is. Listen, you can't detect its location nor its speed. Man, that's powerful. Now watch this. So we're talking about quantum optics. Man, I'm going somewhere, and I want to keep drumming this home because I want you to understand where you play in the scheme of things, where you fit in. Watch this. The word optics in physics refers to the study of light. Photons are the smallest particles of light. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me put a little vibration in it. Wait a minute. We've been talking about quantum, but now we're talking about photons connecting with it as what? The smallest particles of light. So what are you saying to me? If photons are small particles, quantum represents small particles, then if I'm talking about quantum optics, which deals with light, man, I just doubled what I said. They're dealing with the exact same thing, quantum and photons and light. So guess what? when you connect with light or understanding, every time you get a revelation, come on, the one told us, when you go past, you break past that border, you activate another brain. So after an hour of just meditating on words, man, and sitting in a session, you activate those brain cells. So wait a minute. So quantum photons or quantum optics actually deal with those particles, giving you the ability to get a revelation. But wait a minute. What's powerful about this is they connect directly to seers, because they're dealing with small, minute particles. Man, what am I saying to you for this year? And I'm not talking about making a New Year's resolution. I don't make those. I know where I'm going because I got a navigator. And so I enter into that place or into that space to accomplish my goals, to do what I set out to do, not to make a New Year's resolution. Oftentimes people make resolutions and they're out of the scheme of things. Why? Because some of them are far-fetched. So I don't make resolution, I make goals. That's right, I set goals for myself. Totally different. But watch this, we're dealing with something that's very, very powerful when you're dealing with optics and seers. They're small, minute particles that we tap into. But wait a minute, they're one and the same. So now what are we doing? We're telling you to become a seer. Yeah, we're telling you to focus on those minute particles, those things that become fleeting thoughts. How many times have we entered into a space and we saw something very small, very tiny, and we looked at it and blew it off? Didn't know how powerful it is. Well, I'm telling you this year, focus on them. Those very small, tiny, quantum, minute things. Why? Because they're codes. Oh, we've thrown away codes because we looked at them and said they don't mean anything. It's just something small, just something minor. Listen, I remember I was out working out and I looked over in a remote place. I don't even know how I saw it, but I found a $50 bill. Most people would have thrown that away like the other half is nowhere around. What am I going to do with it? No, it was significant to me. So I took it, put it in my pocket, continued working out. I was on that trail, running, getting my cardiovascular in shape. Guess what? I brought it to the one and told him about it. That half representing half, you're halfway there. This was some time ago. You're halfway there meeting your goals, meeting your financial goals, meeting your financial needs. See, someone else would have looked at that small, minute particle and threw it away. But to me, it was something quantumly big. That's right. It was an optic, a light that came into my eyes, a beam of light, or a ray of light. Yeah, it came into my line of sight. I picked it up, put it in my pocket, continued working out. Guess what? It was something very significant. What am I saying for you this year? It's time for you to focus on those quantum things. Remember, we're dealing with those small, minute particles, photons, minute particles. So when you focus on those, you're going to see that they're all adding up to where you're trying to go. That's right. There are quantum codes. They're quantum codes. So focus on them. You bump into something. Listen, don't make it a fleeting thought. Don't blow it off. No, get the energy out of it. Get the information out of it. Do some research. I'm telling you, throughout this year, you're going to bump into those small things. You're going to interact with them. They're going to be talking to you. You're going to be talking to them. No, I'm not talking about spookism. Listen, as the one told us, everything is trying to live. Everything is trying to live. So if it's a cell, guess what? It's got life in it. That's right. Oh, thank you, Kizzy Inspirations Queen. And Sister Dorothy O'Bannon for your donations. Thank you. We appreciate you. I send an abundance of love, an abundance of energy to you. Thank you. Oh, we're starting the year off right. Thank you. We appreciate the love. But I'm telling you, focusing in on those little minute things, those minor things that appear to be minor, but yet they're quantized. Come on, they're quantum in size. Once again, let me read this once again. To clarify what this exactly means, the word quantum refers to the smallest amount of any particle or any physical entity that can interact with another entity. Quantum physics, therefore, deals with the smallest particles. These are incredibly tiny subatomic particles. We're talking about the quarks, the gluons, the very smallest tiny particles. Watch this. So therefore, optics in physics refers to the study of light. So what's going to happen this year? You're going to bring good things to light. That's right. You're going to see those things and a light bulb is going to come on. You're going to see the significance of them. Things that we blew off in the past. Now you have the information, the knowledge, the energy to focus in on it. Those things that's going to help you be more successful. I didn't say be successful, to be more successful this year. You're going to focus on those things and see them. You're going to see them developed. And that's a level of discernment, man, that's out of this world. That's right. To see systematically how things are going to develop. And then have the intuitive capability to see the end, but yet be patient enough to let it develop to get to the end. And not get things off course or out of position or out of order. So now we're talking about light. Wow. So optics or light. And so what you have to understand that light, man, this is very powerful. Light acts as a particle and a wave. Listen, light is the only entity that can interact with itself and other lights, and guess what? Not throw off the frequency, not interfere. Light will pass through itself, man, and keep going and doing what it's designed to do, and it won't throw off anything. So guess what? That's your job this year. Focus on those minute particles and not be thrown off by the light, by the information, or the light around you. You have the ability to pass through those objects or those obstacles, get the complexity out of it, get all the energy out of it, and keep moving. Watch this. Particle. And let me put these definitions out here on the timeline. Boy, that energy and that light is hitting me right now, man. It is hot up here. Talking about particles, and I'm going to quickly go back to the timeline. Talking about particles and waves. And as I shared with you, light has those two characteristics. All right, here we go. Take it from Merriam-Webster College Dictionary. Online, watch what it says here. Particles, a minute portion, piece, fragment, or amount. A tiny or very small bit. Watch this. In physics, definition 2, part A, one of the extremely small constituents of matter, as in an atom or nucleus. Part B, an elementary particle, as in quark or gluon, as I mentioned earlier. And C, watch this, a body in which the internal motion is negligible. Oh, wait a minute. So a particle is so tiny that its motion is negligible. Now think about how we move about on Earth. Guess what? The Earth is spinning so fast that you don't feel it. Its speed is so fast, so rapid, that you don't feel the movement. I'm not talking about the earthquakes in certain areas. I'm talking about on a regular basis that is spinning so fast you don't recognize it. The motion is minute. Oh my goodness. Wow. So particles, a body in which the internal motion is negligible. So now, this year you've got to have that ability, that understanding, to be moving about at a rapid pace that is undetectable. It's unnoticeable. You're just doing it because it has become a part of you. That's right. Let nothing stop you. Getting to the place where you see your goal, you see what you need to accomplish or who you need to reach, and you go for it. And your speed or your motion becomes second nature to you. that now it's stuck on automatic. Oh my goodness, stuck on automatic. That's right, stuck on automatic. Listen, turn up the dial and break it off. Let it stay on automatic. Man, that's powerful. Watch this. Photon or light, once again, acts as a wave. Watch this. A disturbance, wave by definition, a disturbance or a variation that transfers energy progressively from point to point in a medium, and that may take the form of an elastic deformation or of a variation of pressure, electric or magnetic intensity, also meaning electric potential or temperature. So now light acts as a wave. It acts as an elastic deformation, change shape or form, or a variation of pressure. That's right, light intensity, electric or magnetic intensity, or even electric potential, have the potentiality to bump up its electricity. I'm talking about you being a seer, having the ability to bump up your electricity, bump up your ability to see. Why? By recognizing those small things that connect to everything else. So now you're seeing those minute occurrences, things you may see at a grocery store. In your spirit, you know that there's something powerful about it, but guess what? You look at it and you make it a fleeting thought. Insignificant. Not so. Listen, everything is connected to everything. And so when you understand that and you walk in there, you'll realize that, man, this little thing that I encountered or this thought I had is very significant into the progression of my life, the progression of my well-being, the progression of my mental health and stability. That's right. Listen, I don't take any of those things for granted. Man, I see something small, something large, something medium. I focus in on it. And I get the information that's presented to me. Even in bad information, listen, there's always some good information in bad information. You'll understand systematically how not to bump into that again, how not to entertain that again, how not to be enticed by that again. So there's good information in all bad information, if we can call it that. All right, now let's deal with this once again. We're talking about seers. That's right, seers using quantum optics for navigation. Watch this. Let's talk about optics. Man, this is powerful. So I went to the etymology of the word and I broke it down. Op and ticks. The word opt, O-P, means to work. Wow. It means to produce in abundance. Wait a minute, to produce in abundance. In other words, listen, you're focusing in on those small, minute things, giving it an optical view. That's right. Using your lenses, your ability to see as a seer, to produce your abundance. That's right. I told you it's all connecting. So now it means to work. Work is what? Force times distance. So using the force to move forward or to move a distance. Let me say that again. Work equals force times distance. The amount of force that you put to a thing. Smart force. That's right. The amount of force that you apply to what you're doing. Pushing it a certain distance is the definition of work. So now optics mean to work or to produce in abundance. In other words, listen, what you're planning to do is to produce something in abundance. So you're focusing in on producing in abundance. Yeah, focusing in on producing in abundance. See, the problem is we've been limited. We've been taught to limit ourselves. We've been taught to focus on limiting ourselves. That's right. That's far-fetched. There's no way you can accomplish that. Why? Because in the past, we've been programmed to think that way. I'll never get out of this situation. I will never be able to reach my goals. I will never be able to become this intellectual giant that I know I'm supposed to be and I'm destined to be. But I'm telling you, optics is dealing with having the ability to work and to produce an abundance. Oh, listen, I've already started. In my mind, I'm producing my abundance. I'm not waiting till my abundance happen. Yeah, I know that's an oxymoron, isn't it? I'm not waiting for my abundance to happen. I'm producing my abundance with my thoughts. That's right. Listen, if you can't see it, you can't achieve it. If it's not in your line of sight, if you don't focus that energy to what you're trying to accomplish, listen, more than likely you're not going to get there. Why? Because you're not giving audience to it. You're not giving it the attention and the energy that it needs. So what is it doing? Lying dormant. That's right. Watch this. Once again, etymology online, dealing with optics, the word OP, to work or to produce in abundance. Watch this. The suffix tick, and I heard the one, I gleaned this from the one, used to form adjectives from nouns. So now you're taking a noun and you're adding the suffix tick on it. Now it becomes an adjective with the meaning of or pertaining to. Watch this. As in Cyrillic acidic in chemistry, used to denote certain chemical compounds in which a specific chemical or chemical element has a higher oxidation. Oh my goodness, a higher oxidation. Having the ability to breathe, we've been talking about this, bringing in more oxidation than in an equivalent compound whose name ends in OUS. Phosphorus. But when you add in IC or ick, it has higher oxidation. So what are we doing with optics? Having the ability to see at a higher level. Having the ability to soar. Having the ability to understand quantum mechanics at a higher level. Why? We see that it's obtainable or attainable. So you look at those higher order thinking skills and higher order subjects like chemistry, physics, quantum mechanics, quantum mathematics, analytical mechanics with classical dynamics. We look at those subjects and say, whoa, man, there's no way I can accomplish that. There's no way I can see it. There's no way I can even speak that language. Well, I don't talk like that. There's no subject that I can't dive into and understand and learn. Yeah, I think like that. I don't care what it is. I don't care what profession. If I set my mind to it, man, it's a done deal. It's a curtain call. That's right. If I wanted to pursue the doctor's field, the medical doctor's field, listen, I'm skilled with my hands. That's right. I have the ability to utilize my hands skillfully, to use my mind skillfully. That's right. I could do that. If I wanted to be a lawyer, I could go do that as well. Whatever I set my mind to, oh, it's a curtain call. But listen, I'm smart enough to understand that certain things are out of my purview because it may not be my calling. It may not be where I should be heading. So I don't allow myself to be derailed because I have certain skills to do certain things. Certain things will take you into a tributary and throw you all the way off. So I utilize my skills to hone in on what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to be doing. So I gather in certain information so that I can produce more of what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing. So watch this. Tics mean in Latin. This is powerful here. As in polytics. Y'all heard the one talk about this. Poly meaning many. Tic meaning blood-sucking creatures. What am I talking about? With Seers using quantum optics for navigation. Having the ability to expressly see those blood-sucking ticks when they come. Oh yeah, everybody's got a scheme. Everybody's got a Ponzi scheme. People coming with their gimmicks. You will have the ability to see those blood-sucking ticks before they arrive. Why? Because you're focusing in on the small, minute details. Those things that come into your thoughts and say, listen, over here, this time, this day, this hour, this is going to take place. So what you start doing is systematically connecting those dots, focusing in on them, putting them in a place that now I can utilize them. I know something is coming. The whole picture has not developed yet, and I'm not going to force the issue. I'm going to allow this thing to develop.
Yes.
So that I can have a foundation. So when it manifests, now I see it. I see those particles. I see the light. Yeah, I see the light now. I can stand up for my rights because I can see the light now. I can see those things that were looming, those things that were partially hidden, those things that were obscure from view. Yeah, I can see that now. That's right. Come on, those things that were menacing. They were hovering over me. I couldn't see it before, but now I'm focusing on those dust particles. Wait a minute. You all recall, and again, I've got to glean this from the one, talking about those dust particles. You all recall, we remove the shade, let the shade up, remove the curtains. All of a sudden, this algae or this ray of light come in through your window, and all you can see is particles floating around. Information floating around, light. That particular stream of light, what did it do? Or stream of particles, what did it do? Didn't it light up your room? Yeah, I come to light up your life today. That's right, I come to bring you some particles. I come to make you aware of the particles that are floating around you. And I'm telling you, focus in on those particles so that you can get all the information that's in them. There's information in particles. Oh, don't fool yourself. Don't let nobody else fool you. There's information in particles. Let me go there. Whew. Characteristics of light or light particles. Watch this. Light has the ability to institute direction. Let me put this out. I've got to put this out there as well. And listen, when you can see this information, come on and give me the thumbs up. Hit that share button once again. Come on, I just feel like talking about sharing. Yeah, it's sharing time. Let me hit you with this real quickly. Characteristics of light coming from Stack Exchange. I didn't say stock exchange. StackExchange.com. Let me hit you with this first part. Talking about the characteristics of light. Listen, if you can see this information, come on, hit me with those thumbs up. Oh, y'all know I'm a junkie for your love. Come on, hit me with some love today. Hit me with those hearts. That's right. Oh, I don't know about you, but I love feeling love. Come on, somebody talking about love. If you feeling like love, if you see love, if love is floating in front of you, come on, let me hear you say love. Come on, put love on the timeline as well. That's right. Hit me with your hearts. Hit me with your love. Yes, I never get enough of it. I love coming into the truth session because I know I'm going to get some love from the family. Oh, you better ask somebody. Listen, if they don't know, you better go door to door and ask somebody else. Hit us with your love. That's right. Oh, my goodness. Watch this. The characteristics of light has direction or position of the source, where all of the light in the scene, incident, and reflected, or is coming from. So an incident and reflection, watch how powerful light is. In physics and in optics and in chemistry, the angle of incident equals the angle of reflection. So whatever angle you come in with your light, guess what? It reflects the same way. It bounces off. It bounces off a medium and reflects the same way, but also it passes through a medium. I told you it's not affected by any obstacle. It has the ability to continue on its pathway and accomplish its goal. Wait a minute. If you recall some time back, I talked about the one, how his words will do that. So that means his words must be light. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. So his words are light. His words are light. So that's why when they come to you, guess what? The light bulb comes on because his words are light. They come with a force. Wait a minute. Now, let's talk about this again. So if his words are light, guess what? They're coming at the speed of light. 3.0 times 10 to the 8th meters per second. Oh my goodness, the speed of light. So his words are coming at you with speed to meet your need. Yeah, to make you, whatever you give to make it bleed. Come on, somebody. Yeah, those are the one's words. Never forget those. I'm telling you, so they're coming with light on them. They're not just coming to meet you where you are, they're bringing light. Listen, nothing's worse than getting information and there's no light on it. Getting a word with no light on it, no ability to see or to navigate. So we come to help you navigate. Why? Because our words have light on them. Some of you right now already see what you should be doing. That's right, because the seer is speaking. The seer are releasing words that speak. So now, those things you've already set in your mind, I didn't say New Year's resolution. Those things that you've already set in your mind and you can see, you can feel it. Guess what? The light is on right now. Right, because this energy has light. This energy is manifesting. It's vibrating. It's hitting you right where you need it. And everybody is seeing exactly what they need. Oh, my goodness. Watch this. Another characteristic of light, intensity. Output level at the source. I told you about that, the intensity. Having the ability to see an output level. So what you're going to produce is a higher output. Because you're going to focus on those things that's going to help you get to that higher output. See, in mathematics, your input produces a certain output. So I always create charts in mathematics. And then I design a formula. So my input creates a certain output. So now light brings a certain intensity or creates a certain equation so that when you find those small, minute things and place it into your equation, guess what? It produces an output automatically. You don't have to worry about it because there's a formula associated with it. Oh, as in Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared, right? That is the known formula for a right triangle. The square of one leg plus the square of the other leg equals the square of the hypotenuse. That's the formula. So if I give you the sum of the legs that's squared, you automatically get the hypotenuse, right? That's your output. So what you're going to do is get the inputs, those things that may be around you, those things that you might have ignored in the past. Now they're my input. They're my X value. That's right, X marks the spot. They're my X coordinate. So when I put it in, I can get my Y coordinate. Also, watch this. Characteristic of light. Color. What is color? Hue. Hue and color temperature. So every color brings about a certain intensity or color or temperature. Luminance or illumination. And also diffuser or diffusion. Now, I can go many ways with diffusion. Guess what? Those vents that are in your ceiling or at the base of your wall, they're called diffusers. What do? Release air, pneuma, wind, breath. Hello, somebody. So now what you're doing is polishing, and they have some polished diffusers. That's right. You're polishing your diffusers. You're cleaning them up for the upcoming year so that you can blow the right wind through them so they won't be clogged. Diffusion, variance of angles of incidence. In other words, now you understand I can come at this at various angles. I can attack certain things at various angles. Wait a minute, I've got a plan. I need to prepare this dissertation. But because I'm not limited, I can attack it at a certain diffusion, at a certain incident. I told you the angle of incident equals the angle of reflection. So you've prepared at the proper angle so that when you release it, it's coming off at the right angle to those who are hearing it. You all know our old saying used to say, man, what angle are you coming at me? What angle? That's right. How are you coming into me? What's the incident? What's going to be the outcome or the accident? What angle are you coming at me? Wow. Oh, let me hit you again with another one. Watch this. Light travels in a straight line. Another characteristics. Light is a transverse wave and does not need any medium to travel. Oh my goodness. It doesn't need a medium to travel. It has the ability to travel without a medium. That's what you're going to be doing this year. You don't need the medium to help you travel because you'll become your own light, so you automatically travel. Watch this. Light can travel through vacuum. So even in a vacuum system, even when it appears that things are being sucked, the life is being sucked out of you, you have the ability to be your own light. And light travels through, guess what? Through a vacuum. And when it travels through the vacuum, guess what? It travels at 3.0 times 10 to the 8th meters per second, which means the speed of light. Oh, yes. Watch this. The velocity of light changes when it travels from one medium to another. I like that, called variation. You know, you have those certain electronic devices that has a variable speed operator on it. It has variable speed where you can squeeze the trigger and it'll come at a certain pressure, but then you can squeeze it a little harder and then the speed will amp up. It'll ramp up a little bit more. Has the ability to vary the speed. Well, that's what you're going to do this year. Vary the speed. At points you know that you need to speed up, guess what you're going to do? Speed up. Places where you need to slow down, I didn't say stop, I said slow down. Guess what you're going to do? Reset, retool, re-energize, and then continue moving. Watch this. The frequency of the light wave remains the same in all medium or all media. Now watch this. Frequency. Frequency also represent how often a certain thing happens. So now, let me use, say, your donations, for example. Now, January through December of this past year, let's just say you donated 4 times in January, 3 times in February, 6 times outside of even the truth session in March, and 7 times in April. Guess what? They represent your frequency for the year, or the ability to tally up, or the ability to add up. What am I saying? You're going to have the ability to make things add up. Yeah, you'll be able to take a tally of it. You don't have to wait until the end of the year to do your tallying. Listen, you'll keep track of it every month. You'll keep track of the frequency or the frequency that you're operating on. You'll be able to recognize and say, okay, I'm on this frequency. Maybe I need to change my dial a little bit. Let me alter this dial and get on this frequency so that it can line up with what I'm doing for the year. Light gets reflected back from polished surface, such as mirrors, polished metal, or metal surfaces, etc. Light undergoes refraction or bending. So now, how many times have you seen in an experiment where, say, a pencil is put in a container of water, and when you look at it, it looks like the pencil is broken and one part of it is entering in at a different angle. Refraction. Broken. But yet in one. Listen, I'm telling you, there are times that you may be broken, but yet you need to recognize that you're still one. That's right. You may enter into a certain environment that at times make you feel broken, but guess what? You just got undergoing refraction. Yeah. It's the appearance of being broken, but you're still whole. You're going to see that this year. Watch this. According to current scientific theories, no matter or no material particle can travel at a speed greater in a vacuum than light. In a vacuum. Oh, it seems that things are being sucked out of you. Your energy is gone, being depleted. You feel like you're in this vacuum. Guess what? That's when you move the fastest. That's right, moving at the speed of light, having the ability to continue on in that direction no matter what's going on around you. Listen, it's your thinking. And what we always talk about is change the way you think. Change the way you see things. Change the way you operate up here. Download those things that we're giving you so that it can play in your subconscious. Yeah, we're playing programs, as the one said. And what happens is most of the time we're operating on bad programs. Those things that might have gotten a nested loop. So it's constantly recurring. Guess what? Think about that in psychology. When kids go through that, neurosis, those things that traumatically happen to them, and they keep playing them over and over and over and over. That's a nested loop. Until you reprogram them or take them out of that state, guess what? They'll continue seeing those certain things, continue to experience them. That's what we do. We download programs and continue playing them, wondering why we can't get out of them. Listen, change the way you think, change what you hear, change how you hear, change how you see things. And so when you do that, it becomes second nature to you. Continue to speak them. Continue to make them a part of your life. Continue to make them number one. Number one, so that they will play subconsciously as you do things throughout the day, as you rest upon your bed top. They play over and over. They get into your subconscious. Now you're producing those positive things that's going to help you succeed. Those things that's going to keep you most refreshed and the happiest. Listen, I've downloaded so much good things, so many good things, man, by the tons, that listen, I don't have to be doing anything, and I'm at my best. I'm at my happiest. Listen, I can be sitting down relaxing, and listen, I feel like $1,000,035, and that's just my pocket change. That's right. Listen, that's just my pocket change. That's my weekend spending money. That might be my little tip money. I might go to a restaurant. Here's $1,000,035. That's my pocket change. That's right. I don't have to be doing anything significant, but I tell you, I'm at my best. I'm at a happy state. I wake up like that, man. I lay down like that. Feel like I'm sitting on top of the world. I'm not talking about some idealistic thinking. No, understanding who I am, what I possess, and that it doesn't take material things to make me happy. Do we like them? Do we need certain things? Yes, we need finances. Yeah. Do we need physical things? Yes, we do. I didn't say go live outside and there's a house right next to you that you're paying for every month, but you're going to live outside. I'm not talking about that. That's foolishness. I'm talking about those practical things. Those things that you can meditate on, man, take you to a euphoric state that no high, no drug could ever take you. That's where I live, man. I live there every day. I breathe in, man. I breathe. When I go out, I focus my breathing so that I can see. When I'm on a trail, man, I focus my breathing. When I release that energy, man, I'm releasing it somewhere. I'm not just haphazardly thinking and breathing. No, I focus my breathing. The breathing that the one that I've been talking about this year, guess what? I do it every day. I make it my business, my purpose to breathe properly. Oh, my goodness. Guess what? It helps. Because what it does is detoxes your lungs. Yes, it does. It will detox your lungs, man. Man, I breathe in for 6 seconds and I hold it for 6 seconds and then I release it for 6 seconds. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Breathing in that fresh air, that ambient temperature. Not only that, the ambient thoughts, I breathe them in. And just like the carbon dioxide coming out of our bodies, I expel the gases. That's right. Those negative thoughts, those things that don't belong there, guess what? I expel them. Let me go to this timeline real quickly. I feel your energy.
Tell Rosalind Severin to make sure she put information on the timeline concerning her books.
Yes, Rosalind Severin. Listen, just in from the one, please place your information regarding your books on the timeline so that we all can have that information so that we can patronize your goods. That's right. Listen, we support one another. And those of you who have your businesses, please let's take this opportunity to put your business on the timeline. That's very important. Place your business on the timeline so that we can continue to send this information out as we send out the feeds. As we share this information, others everywhere will see it. Please place them on the timeline.
Also, Apostle, I think it'd be a good idea too, since you're releasing this light, to let the people know how light bulb works in the dark.
Yes.
With the dark, with a light bulb and light traveling and
yes, sir.
Able to utilize that.
Yes, sir.
For good usage.
Listen, Thank you, the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. Listen, just released something very powerful. We're talking about light bulb. He was talking about bringing that information regarding light bulbs. Guess what? Some time ago, we talked about what's called dark suckers. Dark suckers, light sucks dark. Just like the sun gets its energy and light from, guess what? The planets around it. Dark suckers. Yes, indeed. Now, that's very powerful. So the light that is being released in its room get its energy from the dark. When you flip that switch, guess what? Darkness was always there. And what it does is energizes the light. It gives it its light. So many of you might be in the dark. Oh, that's not a bad thing. Thank you, the one. You may be in the dark on certain things. Guess what? It's not a bad thing. Because the moment you flip that switch, guess what? It energizes the light. I want you to think about how when the sun is setting, and you can look, you've seen this in TV shows and movies, how it appears that darkness is creeping up the mountain. You've seen it. Now the time zone or the time is changing. And you can see that the light is traveling away, but you can see the darkness is creeping up the side of the mountain. Well, it got its light from the darkness, called dark suckers. That's right. By the way, the speed of darkness moves faster than the speed of light. Yeah. So you might be moving in the dark, doesn't mean you don't see. To seers, guess what? Darkness and light is the same. To seers, darkness and light, they're the same. So now what are you learning to do? Navigate through the dark. I told you seers use quantum optics for navigation. So now you're going to use the darkness that may be surrounding you to have the ability to see. But watch this. What you need to do is to actually stop and allow your seeing, your seer's ability to focus. You've come out of the light and you've walked into the darkness. Guess what? If you just stop for a moment, you'll see that you have the ability to see in the dark. Your eyes or your intuitive capabilities will come online and you'll be able to see. Because there's different levels of darkness. So you'll see different things that you thought maybe I can't see in the dark, or I couldn't see in the darkness. And guess what? Once your eyes or your vision hones in on it and become clear, you'll be able to see those things. Listen, as a kid, I used to practice that, seeing in the dark. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew there was something else to it. I would turn out the lights, man, and navigate through the darkness. And I could sense where certain things were, certain objects, certain furniture, and not bump into it. Find certain things in the dark. I was practicing that as a kid. Didn't understand exactly what I was doing. I was just doing something because I loved the challenge. Oh, but when I got with the one, I understood what was going on. Guess what? My information increased. My ability to see increased. My intuitive capabilities, guess what? Increased. Why? Because I was aware of it. They weren't just fleeting thoughts. I wasn't just doing something. I had an understanding. So now those of you that may be operating in the dark, I didn't say in wickedness, but operating in the dark in certain things, or maybe ignorant of certain things, guess what? You're going to turn that around, because you're going to see that all it is preconditioned light waiting to use those dark suckers so that you can see. Oh, man, let me go back and check this timeline. Listen, boy, this energy is powerful in here. Dominica Jones said, have the vision, see where you want to manifest them or want to be, then manifest. Greetings, my very own Sister Rhonda Morton. That's right, I'm sending a shout out to the Mod Squad, TSF. I send you my love. Oh, all of a sudden, I felt this grip. Come on, Elder Gibbs, in the house. That's right, Elder Gibbs. Last time I checked, it just got better. Listen, it just got better when it got better, which means it's always getting better. Listen, it's always good to see your face in the place, Elder Gibbs. Y'all better give her a hand. Give her a hand on that timeline. That's our Elder Gibbs, everybody. All right. Who else is up in here? Let's see what we got on this timeline. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, Sister Stephanie, for the hearts. From heart to heart. That's right. From your heart to my heart. From my heart to your heart. Kizzy Inspirations Queen, I see you sending your love with the hearts. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Rhonda Moore, for the hearts. Thank you, Dominica Jones, for the hearts. Coming with light. That's right, Sister Roslyn. A world without light makes it very dim. No power or energy within. That's right, Dominica. Thank you for the love, the white and the red heart. Queen Stephanie. Oh, Sister Tammy Green up in here. You know it's always good to see you. All right now. Come on now. Reset, recenter, refocus after various of set speed. That's right. We vary our speeds, Dominica, so that things don't get off course. Watch this. The appearance of being broken, but you're still whole. That's right. Now that's a word. Yes, indeed, Dominica. True indeed. Speak what you want to feel, to hear, to see. That's right. Sonia, oh, there's my girl in the house. Sonia Smith. E is equal to MC squared. That's right. The solution. You know you couldn't stay away too long. That's right. That's a girl out of Chi-Town. Sonia Smith, everybody. Thank you so much. Oceans of Thoughts. Book 1. That's right. Oceans of Thoughts. Man, listen. Everybody go ahead and tap into that Ocean of Thoughts. Book 1 and Book 2 available on Amazon. Thank you for supporting. Yes, yes. That's what we do here. All right. That's right, Kizzy Inspiration Queen. Out of darkness comes light. Listen, man, it's going down up in here. Seeds are planted and it's dark down there. But it is necessary in order for it to grow. That's right. It uses the dark so that it can grow. It's dark because, think about it. Not only is it in a dark place, but its outer hull or outer shell is dark. And until it break open and hit the light, listen, it's going to be in a dark place. But guess what? It's being fed all type of information while it's in that dark place, in that cocoon. That's where you get your information. Yeah. That's why it's good to be in a place where you can get the proper information while you're in that cocoon state, so that you can come out, be tasteful, be beautiful, like that butterfly. Behind every shadow, there's a light behind that. Come on here, Kizzy Inspirations Queen. I see you, I feel you, I hear you. No need to be afraid of the dark, because you are the light. That's Kizzy Inspirations Queen again. Listen, y'all on point here. Right on point. Listen. Let me hit you with one more thought and we're going to get out of here. Listen, I told you I wasn't going to be before you long, but I was going to be before you strong. Once again, let me thank you all for being a part of the Truth Session today. I know you're with your families. I know you're kicking back and relaxing, having an awesome time. And listen, we're about balance. So yes, that's right. Family is important. So love on them as they love on you. Real quickly. Development of quantum optics and the quantum theory of light. The theory that light moved in discrete bundles, as in photons, was presented in Max Planck's 1900 paper on ultraviolet catastrophe and black body radiation. Watch this. It was developed through the first half of the 20th century, largely through the work of understanding how photons and matter interact or interrelate. So we talked about that, how photons and matter interrelate. Man, photons or light can hit matter, and what they do, illuminate it. So sometimes we may be dealing with a matter, but we hit it with the light, the phosphorus ones, hit it with the right light. Guess what? It illuminates it. And oftentimes things come out and we think, wait a minute, I shouldn't be experiencing this. You should be experiencing it. That's how you get delivered and healed from it, because you bring good things to light. So what happens is the photons hit it, and now it sheds light on how to get out of certain things, how to deal with it, how to navigate your way through it. We want to keep it hidden within ourselves so that we don't feel the pain. So we don't experience the frustration and the guilt and the animosity. It's all a part of your growth. It's all a part of your transformation. How do pearls come about? You've got to, oh man, the pressure put on them. the kneading, the pressure, the honing in on it. Then it becomes that perfect, precious pearl. Same thing with gold. That's right. So sometimes you need to experience the pressure. To show that, listen, you're a strong pipe, cast iron, die-cast metal, and the pressure won't burst my pipe. All it'll do is help push along the substance that I'm carrying, the flow that I'm carrying. That's right. You can tilt certain pipes at a certain degree or a certain angle, and it'll give you a certain GPM. That's right, a certain gallons per minute flow. Some of you just need a little tilt so that you can flow a little bit. That's right, your flowetry in motion. That's right, listen, you just tapped into another truth session from the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shape shifter, the code breaker baby. That's right, coming at you with 2,400 watts of power in this hour. Listen, just like I tell everybody, you a little bit too sweet to be sour. Make sure you get the proper rest so that you can grow up like a tower. But make sure when you come into the truth session, you've got to use some brain power. That's right. On behalf of the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander, hold what you got. Muse over it. Cogitate upon it. Ponder over it. But by all means, govern yourselves accordingly with this information until next truth session. Shalom Aleichem. Mishpekah. And I'm going to take you out, that's right, with this tasty beverage, nectar from, that's right, the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. Listen, he's been doing this for a long time. I've been experiencing the nectar from the, oh, you didn't know that. I know you didn't know. I know you didn't know. That's right, the one been doing this for a long time. I'm going to let you know a little secret too as we close out. Man, I couldn't wait to get up there because I knew I was going to get one from the one. Woo! I'm going to take you out with this. You all enjoy, and we'll be back at you soon. On point, everybody.